green of the Oriverde, the football powerhouse, Brazil. Brazil, the opposition, a country synonymous with the beautiful game. Welcome to them to Queensland, on the land of the Yugara and Turrbal people. But most of all, welcome home to our very own famous green and gold, the Matildas, on this most auspicious of evenings, as the Australian footballing community bids farewell to one of its greatest ever. Claire Polkinghorne, tonight we celebrate your contribution to your country and the world game. 15 months ago, in this very stadium, the entire nation held its breath as Courtney Vines stepped up to make history with the Matildas from the penalty spot against France. And now this evening, in front of another 50,000 sold-out crowd for the 15th consecutive time on home soil, the Matildas will fly the flag against football's greatest on an evening in which we celebrate the famous number 4 in her own backyard. Cap number 168 this evening for Claire Polkinghorne.
Brisbane. She played for the Wynnum Wolves and the Capalaba Bulldogs to represent Australia across all parts of the globe, including 15 major international tournaments, including 5 senior FIFA World Cups and 3 Olympic Games. A legend of Australian football, a legend of women's sports, and a legend of Australian sport. Please put your hands together for Claire Polkinghorne. With us here tonight, where he created so many unforgettable memories. He played for the Brisbane Broncos and the Queensland State of Origin teams. Please put your hands together for Darren Lockyer. From one Queensland legend to another, Darren is here to represent and present Claire with a commemorative piece to say thank you for her incredible career and commitment to football here in Australia. Can we all please turn our attentions to the big screen for a special video celebrating Claire's tremendous career.
I remember going to watch her and being like, I want to do that. I want to be like her. I want to defend like her. I want to be as dominant as her.
Hey, folks, I just wanted to say a massive congratulations on your amazing career.
You've had one of the most inspirational careers I guess you could have ever dreamed of.
I think I have to thank you for a lot in my career.
It feels like only the other day when you handed me my first cap.
I just want to thank you so much for everything that you've done for the Tillies and for the game in Australia.
You've been the heart and soul of this team. You've been the epitome of what it means to be a Matilda for so many years.
You exemplify the word passion.
I think you've inspired so many people.
Being a youngster, I remember sitting with my mum and just saying like, I want to do that one day. Like I want to be like her one day.
I don't think there will ever be another Matilda like you.
You've been one of the best, most reliable, loyal, humble people that I've ever come across in the game.
As a young Queensland girl coming through the ranks, you were my absolute idol growing up. So yeah, huge honour to be able to play beside you, and even bigger honour to be able to send you off from this way.
Hi Claire, it was only 12 years ago that you were the baby of the Matildas. Enjoy the games, work hard, and most of all, have fun.
Polkinghorne! Now Polkinghorne, back-to-back goals for the record woman, Claire Polkinghorne. And on the volley and into the back of the net, again by Claire Polkinghorne.
We We'd like to now hand it over to Claire to say a few words.
No, just a few quick words for me because we got a game to get on with. But it's so special for me to be here and to celebrate in front of my home fans in a city I grew up in a stadium that I absolutely love. And this team has been everything to me, and it's been a hell of a journey, and I'm very thankful for everything that everyone has done along the way. So thank you very much, and let's get on with it.
Spoken like a true champion. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time for Claire Polkinghorne. Now, if you can, please be upstanding for the national anthem of Brazil. To remain standing for the national anthem of Australia.
Well, the memories come flooding back of the FIFA Women's World Cup held here in Australia and New Zealand just over a year ago. Claire Polkinghorne, who was injured coming into the campaign, only played a bit part for the Matildas in their run to the semi-finals. Brazil went home after the group stage. The Olympics in Paris were a real turnaround. Pia Sundhage leaving Brazil, replaced by Arthur Ellis, who had had great success in the local game with Corinthians, taking them to 5 consecutive women's championships. And he has now turned it around at the Olympics. They went all the way to the gold medal match against the United States. It was the Matildas who bowed out at the group stage. And now the road back for these two sides ensconced in the world's top 20 begins here this evening. Well, let's have a look at the starting lineups then. Tommy Samani has made 4 changes from the team that started that 2-1 win over Germany last month, along with Claire Polkinghorne. Of course, Winona Heatley makes her starting debut after coming off the bench in Duisburg. In midfield, Emily Van Egmond earns her 150th cap in green and gold. And up front, Tottenham's Hayley Raso partners Arsenal's Caitlin Ford for the Matildas. As we watch the coin toss, Oh Hyun-jong is our referee from Korea Republic, being assisted this evening by Park Mi-suk and Yoon Eun-hee. Kim Yoo-jong is our 4th official, and Melissa King is making sure that everything runs as smoothly as possible. So it's Claire Polkinghorne who's won the toss, will take the ball. The Brazilians will run from right to left on your screens on this momentous evening. And for Brazil, coach Arthur Ellis has made 5 changes from the side that beat Colombia in a friendly last time out. Yasmin Faye Palermo, they both come in at the back. Aline Gomes comes in midfield, and up front Gabi Portillo starts just behind the Brazilian league's top scorer Amanda Gutierrez. Yasmin and Duda Sampaio, the only 2 players to have featured in that gold medal match at the Paris Olympics. Well, there is Tom Samani, the longest serving coach in the history of the Matildas. He's back for a 3rd spell as interim manager. It's his 141st match. He is the man that gave Claire Polkinghorne, a 16-year-old, her debut against China back in 2006. And there is the Brazilian coach, the 43-year-old Arthur Elias, who took over from Sweden's Pia Sundhage in September last year. Started out coaching at the local university in Sao Paulo, heading all the way to the 1st division, and now with the national team. There is our referee, ready to take charge of this friendly match. Oh Hyun-jong. Bit of a point to prove for this Brazil side as well, which is much changed from recent competitive outings. But tonight is all about one woman. Australia versus Brazil. It's always a special, emotion-charged occasion, but Grace Gill tonight, as we celebrate the career of Claire Polkinghorne, it's just that little bit more special, isn't it?
Well, it is, Robbie, and thank you. It's great to be here. It's great to see another packed-out stadium in Brisbane, and one with such fond memories for this team. But tonight, a different occasion, a really special one, centred around the legend that is Claire Polkinghorne.
Cap number 168, 16 goals for Claire Polkinghorne, and already a little bit of the good aggression at the start of a friendly match. Caitlin Ford, she certainly knows there's no such thing as a friendly. She heads off to run the channel. It's intercepted by Isa Haas, who was just involved in that little confrontation in the opening seconds. Isa Haas, who played both games against Colombia last month, got her first ever international goal as well, wearing the number 23 at the back. The whistle going there. Steph Catley unsure as to what that was for. Victoria Calhau with the ball, and back to Natasha. Chosen ahead of Lorena, who has 30 caps and played in the Olympics as the first choice goalkeeper, so perhaps Arthur Elias just a little changing of the guard at the back for Brazil.
Well, fair to say, a bit of a regeneration for this Brazil side, and when you look at the age and the experience across the two teams, the Matildas by far and above fielding their more experienced team, more international caps by a long shot tonight.
saw with Emily Van Egmond and cap number 150, the fourth player for the Matildas to reach the 150 mark. Following in the footsteps of Claire Polkinghorne, obviously, but also Cheryl Salisbury and Lisa De Vanna, as it's one for Caitlin Ford to chase.
Well, it is an exclusive club, and it is a special milestone for Em Van Egmond, who too has been a key member of this team for years and decades, along with Claire Polkinghorne.
Polkinghorne's header bounces off Van Egmond. Bernie Cross was there. Now there's some defending to be done by the Matildas. The ball with Aline Gomis. Trying to get it back onto the right boot. Shoots. Comfortable enough for Mackenzie Arnold. An early touch of the football for the Australian goalkeeper, who needs some playing time as well. All the way back again to Natasha. Mackenzie Arnold's last game for her club side, Portland Thorns, was back in September, as the American NWSL season has wound down. A Brazilian legend, Marta, winning the playoffs with the Orlando Pride at the weekend.
A couple of her teammates as well on the bench tonight.
Here's Rasso, shooting opportunity. Neatly does well. Now Carpenter. That's a good ball back. Winona Heatley was just challenged as she looked to tackle the ball towards the middle.
Well, for winning Heatley her starting debut this side, we saw her come off the bench for what was her first appearance for the national team, but just to be holding down the centre of the midfield, it's a big role, but she's a very versatile player, Winnie Heatley, and really wonderful to see her get rewarded for what sounds like some good training performances.
Alongside Kyra Cooney-Cross, who played her 50th match last time out for the Matildas against Germany and scored her first goal, and it was well worth the wait. Here she is, the gunner, in possession. Little touch for Ford, who's being tackled to the ground by Issa Haas. Surely a free kick. In the end, the referee's given it the other way. Caitlin Ford can't quite believe it.
Well, we see this happen to Caitlin Ford because she is such a dangerous player. Defenders grappling arms all over her, and certainly worth the shout and asking the question of should the foul have been called the other way.
Well, that ball has run through. Chance here for Brazil. Around Mackenzie Arnold. And it is the visitors who open the scoring. Amanda Gutierrez. She's been in electric form for her club side. Palmeiras, who went to the semi-finals of the Brazilian League. She scored 15 goals this season, forced her way into the national team setup, and has opened the scoring here in the 7th minute.
It just wasn't quite dealt with by the Matildas. A little bit of indecision in the mind of Mackenzie Arnold. Do I stay or do I go? Amanda Gutierrez, well, you can see her form. A neat little touch around the goalkeeper. Has all the frame of the goal to aim for. It's a well-taken finish.
Ball just held up, didn't it? It was right in that area. Mackenzie Arnold had to wait for it to come into the penalty box before she could lunge at it. By that stage, Amanda Gutierrez was already all over it. The Matildas, who are undefeated in their last 6 matches against Brazil, not since a 3-1 loss in Brazil back in 2016. It was the last time the side wearing blue and yellow and green this evening got a victory over the Tillies. Polkinghorne does well. Cooney Cross exchanges passes with Rasso. Now back with Claire Hunt and Arnold. She's got Alana Kennedy alongside her. She decides to go long towards Caitlin Ford. Again, the marking is very tight on Ford as Carpenter races away. The pass couldn't find Rasso, but she gets another chance. Now Catley for Carpenter, doing her imitation of a left back.
Well, it was a productive run by Ellie Carpenter. She had a little glance up from the right-hand side of the Matildas field and couldn't find a pass, so decided to take it herself, drove inside. Resulted in a corner for her team.
Alana Kennedy's been amongst the goals recently for the Matildas. Here's Cooney Cross. She delivers. Good ball in as well. Attacked by Vitória Calhau, and now Brazil are on the counter again. 3-on-3 if they play their cards right. Aline Gomes, nice little pass as well. Mackenzie Arnold comes, and this time she gets there at the feet of Marilia.
Ultimately, it was offside, but Mackenzie Arnold, not a dissimilar situation to that of moments earlier. That time she got it right, committed to coming out early.
Well, they talk about the rivalry between these two sides. The Matildas saying it's always physical, it's always tough. Quarters, you don't bother asking for them, you're not going to give them either. And we can see it already in the contacts between the two sides. Faye Palermo's ball in, cleared, and then arriving was Duda Sampaio.
When we look at the formation of the Matildas, they're setting up exactly as they did in the last two matches in the friendly windows against Germany, Switzerland. The five at the back with those two wide players tonight. That's Catley on the left and Carpenter on the right, bombing forward. But what it does mean that on the counter, they're a little bit susceptible at the back with just the three defenders.
Here Brazil again, looking for Yasmin coming forward, the captain down this left-hand side. She shoots, and again it's a clean pair of gloves from Mackenzie Arnold, who is the busier of the two keepers so far.
Yeah, very much so. And this a really important one for Arnold to hold on to. Brazil forwards chasing, following up really well, as any good forward should do. A clean set of hands from Arnold.
Glancing header from Emily Van Egmond, who was beyond Ford. Rasso gave chase. Duda Sampaio. And Alana Kennedy not taking any chances. Sends it into the stands. Well, this originally named 36-player squad for the Matildas has been ravaged by injuries, whether it be the overseas-based players like Katrina Gorry with the shoulder, Claire Wheeler also missing out. Here's Carpenter, Mary Fowler pulling out as well. A couple of injuries from the A-League players. Now there's an opportunity. Van Egmond is looking just to touch it around the number 23, Issa Haas there.
And shout out as well to Hannah Lowry, who on her first call up into senior national team camp has unfortunately ruptured her ACL. So we wish her all the very best in her recovery. And Izzy Gomez too, with a nasty knee injury.
Here's the first ball into the penalty box for Caitlin Ford, looking to find a little bit of space. Catley She has also been amongst the goals, including at the Olympics, where she got 2 in that remarkable football match against Zambia. The 6-5 victory. Lovely ball from Duda Sampaio, brilliant technique. Releasing Aline Gomes. Wants it on that right foot. First time shot, and that's 2. It's a brilliant finish again from Amanda Gutierrez. 2 goals in 13 minutes. And it's the Brazilians that are celebrating in Suncorp early.
Well, it's a dream start for Brazil. What was a really well-worked goal. Point out the delightful ball. This pass outside of the right foot from Duda Sampaio, that is world class. And yet again at the back, just not quite dealt with by the Matildas. Too much time and space. Allowing Aline Gomes on the ball just to get her head up, pick her pass, and that's too easy for Brazil. Far too easy.
Well, it's only her 3rd cap. Amanda Gutierrez, she now has 2 goals.
Well, it silenced the crowd here at Suncorp, and certainly not the start the Matildas were looking for. They're giving themselves quite the uphill battle, but just 2 quick counter-attacking plays on transition. Brazil, they have been lethal.
It's her first ever start for the national team. Amanda Gutierrez. Now, Caitlin Ford runs onto that one. Faye Palermo backtracking. Vittoria Calhau is there as well. Ford holds on to possession. Catley back with Caitlin Ford. Rasso's in the middle. It's beyond her. Arriving at the back post, Ellie Carpenter. Turned behind by the captain, Yasmin.
That's better. That's the response the Matildas need. Great energy shown by Caitlin Ford. She's so important down that left flank. The combination between her and Steph Catley we're so accustomed to. Push and shove just in front of the goalkeeper. Winnie Heatley, who's looked really bright in the opening passage of this game as well, making herself busy.
Plays a football in Denmark these days with Nord-Jylland, currently sitting 2nd in the Danish league as they prepare for the winter break. Claire Hunt in there as well. We know how dangerous she is from set pieces. Got her first ever international goal against Germany. Oh, it's a real pushing game in there. The header away by Isa Haas. Aline Gomes back with Yasmin. Clears long. Ellie Carpenter driving in on Duda Sampaio. Mentioned the injury absentees for the Matildas. Brazil also not only a changing of the guard, but players missing there as Catley's back on the front foot. It's a really open end-to-end match at the moment. Both sides looking to attack in transition.
It's a very warm night up here in Brisbane, humid, 24 degrees. It's still sweltering, definitely on pitch side as well. So such a transitional game.
Well played by Heatley, who was flattened in the penalty box. They have to be careful though, because Brazil have it back again. Portillo, Gabi Portillo's cross towards Aline Gomes. Look at the energy levels in the Brazil camp. They are up for everything. They've won it back again through Lais Estevam. Celebrated her birthday just 2 days ago. While in camp, most of the Brazil squad arrived last Saturday, so they've had plenty of time to acclimatise. Aline Gomes, the cross in is a good one towards Gabi Portillo. And Egmont.
Brazil do move into their final attacking third, they're looking really good. Really sharp passing, right delivery. On that occasion, it was Claire Hunt who got up, knobbed the header away.
Now, Mackenzie Arnold has stayed down after that last passage of play. Medical staff have been called on. It's a chance for both sides to come across and get some liquids on board. Assistant coach Leah Blaney there, chatting to Caitlin Ford. Steph Catley and Alana Kennedy doing a bit of the inquisition into what's going wrong at the back at the moment. Tegan Micah has been sent to warm up as well. Tegan Micah's only just come back to playing after a long time on the sidelines too. She played her first match of the season 10 days ago, a 1-0 loss to Everton for her Liverpool side. Currently sits 6th in the WSL. Let's head down to Neve Owens, who's on the sidelines for us this evening. Neve, what can you tell us?
Macca is back up and about, Robbie, which is good to see. It was a really good opportunity for the girls from both sides to come to the side and take on some fluids. As Gigi mentioned before, it's 24 degrees, but it feels like 28, according to the app here at Suncorp. It's not going to get much cooler than that throughout the game. And the crowd, yeah, a little bit quiet after those couple of goals, but they are riding every moment in this game, Robbie. Every save Mackenzie Arnold makes, every touch you see from Claire Polkinghorne, every drive through the middle from Ellie Carpenter, and the crowd is up and about. So they think there's still plenty of fight left in this Tilly's side.
Fantastic, Neve. Thanks for that. It certainly is. We know that it's never say die. The slogan of this Matildas side. They do go right to the very end. So many times over the last 4 or 5 years we've seen them pull matches out of the fire at the very last kick of the game. And we just saw Caitlin Ford come back and tell Mackenzie Arnold, look, they are so tight, the marking. Give it everything you've got, send it long, and we'll make a foot race out of it. Duda Sampaio towards Faye Palermo, and it's going to be out for a Matilda's throw.
Well, that's the thing for Brazil. They do not want to allow the likes of Caitlin Ford, Hayley Rasso in behind because of their speed.
Heatley turns well in the middle of the park and finds Carpenter. Now Rasso, out on that familiar right wing position for her. Heatley continuing her run into the middle. And it's well played, and it's Murillo who's doing the defending, out for another corner.
Early doors, but really enjoying seeing the touches and just the smarts of Winnie Heatley, knowing when to make a run, when to make a move. That one just nips outside her defender and finds a bit of space. Great last-ditch tackle in the defending.
Well, there is some concern for Murillo, the way she turned there and then grabbed at her hamstring. We'll see if it was just seizing up due to the effort. She stayed down. And I don't think that look is very reassuring from the medical staff. Gabi Porcillo coming over. Yeah, this is not good. The substitution is being prepared on the sideline. I think it's going to be Gio who's going to come on. Giovanna, who's the 21-year-old, but already 15 caps and 3 international goals to her name. Plays a football for Atletico Madrid in Spain, as does her compatriot Lauren, but that doesn't look good. You've got a feel for the 21-year-old Murillo. Giovanna is preparing to come on. First change of the evening.
Well, yeah, a really disappointing exit for Murillo. An early exit and getting stretched off. A real shame.
Now the corner for the Matildas with Steph Catley in that left boot to deliver. That's deep, not a single Matilda attacking at the drop of the ball. Ellie Carpenter under pressure from Aline Gomes. She is very fleet of foot, the Brazil number 7, setting up that second goal. Again long as Kennedy had stayed forward. She was looking for the flick on. No free kick, says the referee. Caitlin Ford was involved in that challenge. She's on the ball now. Rasso. He's got Catley in the middle. Cleared by Giovanna. And now Duda Sampaio. Head straight for the sideline as Gabi Portillo, who's down. The way she's rubbing that quad looks more like a dead leg.
Just as Caitlin Ford came through, you can see the contact just there on the outside of that right leg. She's got the left quad heavily strapped as well. But those ones hurt. You certainly know about them, especially the next day you wake up and have a pretty sore leg to carry.
Well, not too distressed so far, by the looks of it. For Gabi Portillo, champion with Corinthians. There is Marilia, who made her way back to the bench. They're checking that left hamstring. Gabi Portillo, who was one of the stars of that run to the final of the Olympics. Goal in the quarter-final against France and that 1-0 victory, a goal in that incredible upset in the semi-final, 4-2 over Spain, having lost 2-0 to Spain in the group stage. The Matildas returned the ball to Brazil, who'd put it out so that Gabi Portillo could receive some attention. Now we're back underway with Isa Haas. Good ball forward, and look at the pace of Portillo, recovering very quickly indeed.
That hammy fit the firing, which is good to see for Portillo, and really testing out the stride of Claire Hunt as well, who managed to just keep step and get a foot in at the crucial moment.
Yasmin, the captain of this evening's side, the 28-year-old. Like so many of this side from Corinthians, the Brazilian champions, where the coach of Brazil, Arthur Elias, coached for 5 years. It's a good ball right into the danger zone. The Matildas have failed to clear so far. It's still there. Finally. Emily Van Egmond managed to hack the ball away. Yasmin has it again. Quick from Rasso. Matildas have had plenty of possession, but just 2 shots to 4 for the moment from Brazil. All 4 shots on target for the South American champions. That's well played. Early pass into the area. The flag's gone up early for offside though against Ford.
Matilda's just trying to bite back with a bit of Brazil's own medicine, the quick counter-attacking play, finding that space in behind, and getting Cooney Cross a little more involved in the play as well is going to be important. And it's narrowly offside, but it's a great call from the assistant referee.
Lais Estevan back to Natasha. Duda Sampaio involved. Vitoria Calhau back again to the keeper, Natasha. One well in the air by Kennedy. Plays a football for Manchester City, currently sitting second in the English top flight. Chelsea leading the way at a canter. Sam Kerr still making her way back from that knee reconstruction. It's been over a year now. Hayley Rasso's joined the Matildas contingent playing in the English WSL. She's with Tottenham now. Started the game against Arsenal after another little injury layoff. She's played in the last two. It's well played by Yasmin. Gutierrez, how about that for a pass forward from Giovanna, looking for Gabby Portillo. Now forward again. Steph Catley charging up, the Arsenal teammate. Just a little bit too obvious and a little bit too ambitious, and Issa Haas could shepherd it back to her keeper. Oh, and now Natasha has a problem.
The crowd here at Suncorp a little less forgiving for the Brazilian goalkeeper.
Mackenzie Arnold's moment up the other end a few minutes ago.
And it has been a really open transitional 30 minutes from one end to the other, the field getting quite stretched. Lots of space between the lines.
You can see Natasha has that right hamstring very heavily strapped as well. They trained twice at Perry Park earlier this week before training here at Suncorp yesterday. The Brazil side, we might have a look at the two goals that have proved the difference so far. Amanda Gutierrez with her first ever international goals, and she looks very much the part at the moment this evening, Grace.
Well, she does. Third appearance tonight for Gutierrez. There's 2 goals in 13 minutes for Brazil, and 2 well-taken finishes at that. It's absolutely caught the Matildas off guard. They have managed to stem the bleeding just a little bit as the half has worn on.
Now Natasha is still down. She's being helped back to her feet here. They have Lorena, a very experienced goalkeeper, on the bench. They also have the 22-year-old Claudia, who is the first ever player to be called up from her second division side, Juventude, to the Brazil national team. They've actually taken the strapping off. And there was a nice little interview with Claudia this week about how she'd never been out of Brazil, never imagined that she'd be playing for Brazil one day, and this was all the big learning curve for her. There's a player with a lot more experience, Gabby Portillo. The clearance, again, it was with that right leg from Natasha, so that would have given it a good little test as she launched it forward, intercepted by Carpenter. Mackenzie Arnold taking a long time with that clearance, inviting the pressure from Amanda Gutierrez. Well, that's well played, Rasso, who's stolen the ball away, and Natasha came a long, long way, and she might have done some serious damage this time to that right hamstring. Well, it may just be a knock.
Well, it's a heavy coming together, a clash of boots and legs, and we know that Hayley Rasso does not take a backward step when it comes to those sorts of challenges.
There was contact. It's certainly a brave piece of goalkeeping, a long way from her goal.
She's come off worse for wear from that one. Hayley Rasso looks to be okay, standing off to the side.
Well, let's head back down to Niamh Owens, who's on the sidelines. Niamh, the intensity in some of these challenges, you can really feel it up here. How is it down pitch side?
Yeah, it's incredible, Robbie. You speak to former Tillies who have played against Brazil and they talk about the physicality, the competitive nature of these clashes. There is such a history between these two sides, and despite the label on the packet being a friendly here tonight, that is not what we are seeing out in the middle, particularly from the Tillies corners. The wrestle, the hustle in the box is huge, and you saw that once again in such a huge clash, putting the bodies on the line, Robbie.
Absolutely. Match number 22 between these countries, and the Matildas, they do have the edge at the moment. They've won 11-8 with just 2 draws historically between them. They met in the group stage of the 2019 World Cup as well, a 3-2 win for Australia. Chloe Lagazo was on the score sheet that day. She's been called back up to this Matildas squad, likely to feature against Chinese Taipei in a week's time. It's Brazil again on Sunday on the Gold Coast, and then Wednesday and Saturday in Melbourne and Geelong, respectively, for the Matildas against Chinese Taipei or Taiwan, where we're likely to see a larger contingent of local A-League Matildas as well. Such an important pathway for international football, the A-League women's competition. And the men, of course, with the Socceroos. Oh, as the touch from Isa Haas almost invited Hayley Raso in again. Natasha taking a long time to release, putting Vittoria Cagliao under pressure. She wasn't happy, the number 3. She wants it to play quickly. Crowd continuing to give Natasha a bit of a hard time. It's another good touch from Amanda Gutierrez, who's a big player. Reminds me a little bit of the Colombian Ramirez up front. Great strength as Raso was looking for Van Egmond.
That ball opened up nicely for Hayley Raso. Just not quite on the same page with Van Egmond as she looked for an early pass around the corner. And then we found its way to the feet of a Brazil player.
Amanda Gutierrez again with the ball forward. Little touch for Gabi Porcillo, intercepted by Heatley. Duda Sampaio just gives it straight back again with Kyra Cooney-Cross. Emily Van Egmond. Cooney-Cross wants it back, gets it. Oh, the first time ball just didn't get enough touch, purchase on the ball for Caitlin Ford. The youngest of the Arsenal trio of the Matildas, Kyra Cooney-Cross, but certainly coming of age this season. Such an important player for the Matildas, getting more and more minutes with Arsenal as well, still most of them off the bench, but she is a regular contributor. Champions League football as well this year for them.
Quite special too for Cooney-Cross to find the back of the net. And that pretty spectacular finish against Germany for her first ever Matildas goal.
Another one in behind, looking for the pace of Gabi Porcillo. Very coolly done. Claire Hunt. Oh, as Heatley gets caught in possession. It might open up again here. Aline Gomez was offside. It wouldn't have counted.
Well, we've mentioned it a few times, but the physicality of the game. Really, Heatley hasn't done much wrong tonight, but just gets caught a little blindsided by the contact coming through. And you think that might be a get out of jail free card there for the Matildas. You see Brazil though, their attacking intent, their shape, starting their line really high. They don't want to allow the Matildas time and space on the ball.
Caitlin Ford's done brilliantly, got the right side of Isa Haas. Great fighting as well. She's asking the referee about the holding on. We've seen it from the very first whistle, the very first challenge from Isa Haas.
You can hear exactly what the home crowd thinks of that. Caitlin Ford, she's exceptional. She just works and works. She's held back illegally or otherwise, and you can understand the frustration when she's not given the free kick.
Yeah, another grab of the shirt in the box. Now, Emily Van Egmont's gone to ground there under a challenge with Lais Esteban. Immediately looks for Van Egmont again. Plenty of bodies in that 6-yard box. Heatley trying to put the pressure on Natasha. Cooney cross delivers. Good ball back post. Kennedy's header. Couldn't direct it on target.
We almost get the sense this body's flying in the box. That part of Brazil's game plan has been to mark up player for player, not allow their opposition an inch of space, and it's getting a little bit into the heads of the Matildas just in moments.
Kenzie Arnold long again, but Yasmin is there, helped out by Duda Sampaio. Victoria Calhau. Back to Natasha. Esteban. Good switch of play for Aline Gomes. Little 1-2 with Yasmin. It's well played again. Gomes' cross. Duda Sampaio straight back again. Yasmin. Her cross. The header. Well, Amanda Gutierrez is a real handful at the moment. Peeling off a free header, got it on target as well. The third goal in the first half would be rather problematic for the Matildas and their hopes of a comeback.
Number 11 for Brazil, Gutierrez. She certainly doesn't look like this is just her third appearance in a national team shirt. Looks comfortable, looks assured on the ball.
Towards Giovanna, over her, the header from Polkinghorne. Hasn't gone according to plan for Claire Polkinghorne's farewell match here at Suncorp Stadium. Not yet anyway, that could all change. She scored in her last 2 matches against Brazil back in 2021. A 2-2 draw and a 3-1 victory. Just about take a 2-2 draw at the moment, and it comes again. Kennedy. Heads clear. It'll be a throw. Coffey Palermo. Throw into the channel. It wasn't a bad idea again. It was Amanda. I think it was Gabi Portillo that time who'd found a little bit of space in the box.
Look how high Brazil are setting here, just outside the 18-yard box. They don't want the defenders to get the ball. They don't want the Matildas to settle into possession. It has been Brazil who are edging out possession in this game so far, and the Matildas, well, they're yet to register a single shot on target.
And possession has swung back in favour of the South Americans as well. Natasha with Victoria. 8-time South American champions. Brazil, they made the final of the Gold Cup as well, the North American Continental Championship. They were invited into that, went all the way to the final, lost to the US of A there as well. The best they've ever done in a FIFA World Cup 2007, when they were runners-up in China. One for Carpenter to chase. She's got the legs on Yasmin. The Olympique Lyonnais fullback gets the cross in. Giovanna is there intercepting. Again, Carpenter's done well. Drives it in near post. Van Egmond leaves it intelligently. Here's Caitlin Ford, and the Matildas are on the board. Fantastic goal. And didn't Caitlin Ford enjoy that as well? It's been a tough night so far for the Matildas. But here they come.
Well, that one had a bit of feeling behind it for Caitlin Ford, and understandably so. She's scrapped and she's fought, as has Ellie Carpenter, who tried again, found a way through. Intelligent here from Van Egmond to step over, and even more so, Caitlin Ford has the awareness to feel the pressure coming through behind and just turn on a dime. It's a brilliantly taken finish, and Caitlin Ford adds another to her tally. The Matildas, they're not done yet.
Well, the assist will go down for Ellie Carpenter, but a half an assist for Emily Van Egmond for just leaving it so intelligently. And how much did Caitlin Ford enjoy that? Goal number 38 for her country. She draws level with Cheryl Salisbury in the all-time scoring charts, 4th place. Only Sam Kerr, Lisa Devanna and Kate Gill ahead of her. I'm not sure who enjoyed it more, the fans or Caitlin Ford.
It's been a physical night so far for Ford. Frustration brimming through, so she really deserved that finish. Tireless, and she works endlessly for this side. She has done so tonight as well.
Here's Kennedy. Managed to keep it in only just, but then ran out of space. There's Mim. With the injury stoppages we've had to goalkeepers and otherwise, Marilia, who went off, there's going to be plenty of stoppage time as well. Faye Palermo, wide for Gabby Porcillo. Into the area. Lace Esteban. Giovanna tees it up on the right boot, straight at Mackenzie Arnold.
Well, it came to Giovanna with a lot of time.
Oh, now Hayley Rasso has been flattened in the back play there. The crowd spotted something as it came long. Claire Polkinghorn is speaking to the referee about defending the Matildas players out there from what has been a very physical approach. Mackenzie Arnold as well. Now, the Matildas are saying they've all seen it. Let's have a look and see if we can spot anything here, Grace.
Well, sure enough, just a heavy shoulder. You can see through on this one. It has been the task of the Brazil defence tonight to not allow Hayley Rasso, Caitlin Ford any time or space to breathe, and they took that instruction a little literally on that occasion. Absolutely knocked the wind out of Hayley Rasso.
Well, it is international football. You can get away with it. Just stepped into it, Isa Haas, who's been very physical right from the start. Estevan gets the better of Heatley. Now Duda Sampaio. Aline Gomes. Kennedy does well. Carpenter wants to take it quickly. We're into the second minute of 7 added on at the end of this first half. Laís Esteban. Dudu Sampaio. Victoria Cagliao back with Natasha. It's like the pantomime villain at the moment. Natasha. It's a good touch from Amanda Gutierrez again for Gio. Giovanna wide. Yasmin. The cross in is good. Polkinghorne, good header. Laish Estevan, no way through. Cooney cross. Again, you see the wrestling and the holding on there from Vittoria Cagliao.
Well, the battle between these two players, and really how Vittoria Cagliao is not being sanctioned for that. It's blatant arms around, and yes, there's a bit of push and pull. The arms around the waist, the grabbing of the shirt.
It's just a third international cap for Vittoria Cagliao, as we've seen Issa Haas going hard there on Caitlin Ford as well. A third cap for Issa Haas as well. Plays her football for Internacional, Cagliao for Cruzeiro.
On that occasion,
this one.
Yeah, it was Caitlin Ford double teamed a player in front and behind.
Oh, and the swinging arm as well. Unintentional in the end from Issa Haas. Grasso to chase. Natasha looks long this time. Well, there's plenty of fight, plenty of hunger in this Brazil side. Without, I mentioned a host of players. Caroline and Priscilla were both named in the initial squad, both pulled out with injury. Ludmila is not there. Luana, the midfielder as well. Ana Vittoria, Rafael, Tamires, Tarsiane. It's a long list of experienced players as well. You can see how much these players who altogether just over 100 caps, isn't it, before this evening?
Yeah, well, experience-wise, it's the Matildas out on the field there, over 1,000 international caps. Brazil just scraping over the 100 mark.
Here's Faye Palermo. Lais Esteban has stayed down. Faye Palermo lays it back. Dudu Sampaio, it's a good hit. Across the face of goal. We've still got 90 seconds left.
They did miss by a great deal. Mackenzie Arnold looked to have her far post covered. Brazil still threatening as it was the heavy foot coming down from Alana Kennedy.
On the inside of the ankle, it looked a rather painful one as well. I've already seen Marilia go off with a hamstring problem. Let's hope we don't have any more injuries. We want a strong, high-intensity match. We've certainly been delivered that so far. And that's everything Claire Polkinghorne would have wanted as well for her farewell game. You can see how unhappy she was to have to talk at the front, to have all this ceremony, all this attention. Let's just get on with the game. She's scrapped and fought so many times for the Matildas. 18.5 years as a Matilda at just 35 years of age. You can do the math, but it's more than half a lifetime in green and gold.
Ever the professional Claire Polkinghorne. Always calm, always composed, and you can see her trying to implore her side just to calm down a little as this first half almost ticks to a close.
Well, we have talked about the physicality, athleticism, if you like, of Brazil, but the Matildas also have a tough reputation, and here they are, one last chance. Oh, and the referee has called it up for a free kick just as Ellie Carpenter was charging into the penalty box. Tom Samani is taking it up with the fourth official. Well, the whistle must just have gone half a second too early.
Oh, the battle continues on between these two. There's the foul. There's Ellie Carpenter streaming through into a bit of open field. So they'll get the free kick, but perhaps the advantage, the better option. It's very rare you see Tom Samani become animated with an official.
No, it's not the first time. I've been keeping my eye down there. It's not the first time this evening as well that he's been chatting to the fourth official. Now Kyra Cooney-Cross is standing over this one, the right boot, saying the left boot of Catley it is, that delivers. It's a good ball in. Peeling off the back, Rasso. They need it back in the area quickly. The 7 minutes of stoppage time are up. Is there going to be time for the Matildas? Ford for Rasso, one to chase. Oh, but she was just caught on her heels. There may yet be time. The referee has a look at the watch. Allows the throw for the Matildas. And still we go on. That's 9 minutes of stoppages that have been played. We're into the 10th. With Ford looking to turn. She has done. She needs an option. No one in the middle to aim for. Catley again confronted with the same problem. Ford. Now there is a couple of green and gold jerseys in the middle. Catley back. Heatley does well, drives it in. It's blocked well though. And now Gio can try and launch the charge for Brazil. It's out, and that is half-time. Can we say it often enough, but it really is the case. It has been an absolutely pulsating first half of football at Suncorp Stadium. Brazil stunned the Matildas early. The number 11, Amanda Gutierrez, with her first brace in international football, before Caitlin Ford sounded the charge for the Matildas with a fantastic goal, pouncing on the ball with a cool and clinical finish to give the Matildas hope in this Claire Polkinghorne farewell match. It's been tough, it's been physical, and at half-time it's Brazil leading Australia. Welcome back to Suncorp Stadium. The Matildas are chasing the game, but the Matildas are a side with a big appetite. The one goal difference will just be an extra source of motivation for this side, and particularly when they look up and see that it's Brazil, one of the Matildas' oldest and most regular foes on the football pitch. 6 games without defeat against the South American champions for the Matildas. We just saw Michelle Heyman, who has scored 7 goals this calendar year for the Matildas. Not bad for a player that retired in 2019. Was called up for those Olympic qualifiers. Sian Fryer, local Brisbane girl, along with Tamiki Yallop, another Brisbane Roar player, on the sidelines getting some instructions. We'll likely see the Queensland contingent swell a little bit in this second half. We also saw Kyra Cooney-Cross getting a bit of individual treatment just before we get back underway. Hopefully she's okay. She needs to be more involved. It's Brazil that get the second half underway. Brazil leading by 2-1 at half-time here in this first of 4 friendly international matches to be shown on 10 Bold and Paramount Plus for our mighty Matildas over the next 10 days. Great skill. It's been physical. It's been tough. But let's face it, it's exactly what these two sides have built their reputations on. Bring it on.
Well, fair to say, Robbie, there was nothing particularly friendly about that first 45 minutes. And there often isn't between these two sides. A really physical encounter. Some hard-fought battles.
Faye Palermo. Down this right-hand side. Looking to get the better of Kyra Cooney-Cross, and that's a good challenge.
It was by Cooney-Cross's standards a quieter half. We did, as you mentioned, see her doing some, almost looked like sort of fitness tests at the break just before the second half, some warm-ups to make sure something was okay, and she looks to be all right out there, which is great to see. Definitely needs to get involved, be on the play a little bit more, Cooney-Cross.
She's one of the really naturally gifted players in this side, and particularly in the absence of Mary Fowler this evening. The more you can get Kyra Cooney-Cross on the ball, the better. That was delivered into a great area. Rasso with Ford trying to launch the ball forward, launch the Tillies into attack. It comes straight back again, claimed by Mackenzie Arnold. Immediately the harassing Eleni Gomez, just closing down Mackenzie Arnold. There's nothing she could have done. She's not allowed to tackle the goalkeeper when she has the ball in her hands, but it's just again to get in the face of the Matildas players at every opportunity. And Hayley Rasso looking to set the tone for the Matildas.
Well, you saw the look that Hayley Rasso gave a Brazil player late in that first half. And once that fire is set alight beneath her, she is capable of some serious damage out there. The ultimate competitor, Hayley Rasso. She's got this second half off to a flyer.
Well, she's the Matilda that can just run through walls. She is famously the Matilda that broke her back and had to learn how to walk again. In a bed for weeks. That was back in 2018. Broke 3 vertebrae in her back. And here she is, looking again to take it to Vittoria Cagliao. We'll know she's been in a football match at the end of 90 minutes. Ellie Carpenter. Van Egmond looking for the little flick. A clearance by Vittoria Cagliao, straight out of play. Cooney-Cross with Claire Hunt wearing the unfamiliar number 25 shirt for her. She's been wearing number 15 in all her previous 25 matches with the Matildas. Here goes Ellie Carpenter down the right-hand side. The early cross. Caitlin Ford's there again. Wants it on the right. Turns back. And that time Issa Haas didn't go to ground, as she had done in the first half. She learned a very important lesson in the 43rd minute. She showed just there that she's learned from it.
Well, it was a difficult prospect for Ellie Carpenter. A great run she made, but looking up just had the one yellow shirt to aim for, which was that of Caitlin Ford. Ford had a few too many Brazil opposition players around to close the space well. It will be interesting to see if Michelle Heyman does come on as she continues to warm up on the sideline, how that changes the formation. We know she's more of that traditional central striker type of role.
And we imagine, along with everyone in the stadium this evening, and most of you watching at home, I imagine, that Claire Polkinghorne will get an early mark at some point and a chance for that standing ovation, which she so richly deserves. It's a ball over the top for Gio. She's got a toe on it as well. Has it gone out for a corner? Oh, the Matildas don't think so. Again, the referee just hesitated. Everyone seemed to be walking back for a goal kick.
Brazil have looked dangerous off corners as well, as we have another look at the challenge here, and well, understandably so. It's clearly off the leg of Giovanna, and the crowd has just seen that on the big screen as well.
And a couple of the Matildas are letting the referee know about it as well. They spotted it on the big screen. Here's Gutierrez. Gio tries it from distance. One of the more experienced players in this squad, still just 21 years of age. Now, Carpenter again. It's a good ball for Ford, who's the right side of Vitória Calhau. The cutback towards Rasso, and it's the first time she's really put a foot wrong, Caitlin Ford. This evening, the cutback, it was neither to Rasso nor to the players coming behind.
Just didn't quite have the measure right on that one, Caitlin Ford. Another brilliant run. Ellie Carpenter, Caitlin Ford into space, but you can see the pass is just behind the stride of Hayley Rasso. And Van Egmond a few steps too far away. Neither here nor there, the cutback.
Clearance, it was a little haphazard by Yasmin, but it found Laisa Steven. Catley with Cooney cross in support. Rasso, Catley again. And she was played into a bit of a cul-de-sac there by Rasso. There's Catley now. A couple more players have been sent to warm up behind the goal, and there's more words with Alana Kennedy for the referee, Oh Yeon-jong of Korea Republic.
Well, there's smiles, but there's a bit going on behind those smiles, I'll tell you that much.
And we also saw Tommy Samani again having an exchange with the fourth official. Down here as Faye Palermo waits. Now, the yellow card has come out now for Vitória Calhau and Caitlin Ford. Both have gone into the book. And we saw how fired up Caitlin Ford was when she scored that goal. I'd be a little concerned if I was Vitória Calhau. Oh, danger here. Gio racing away. It's a lovely touch around the defender into the back of the net. She celebrates with Amanda Gutierrez. And Brazil have restored their two-goal cushion.
Well, she's looked energetic since she came on, and she's picked the pocket of Alana Kennedy. The first time ball through into space. Mackenzie Arnold looks to close the angle, looks to make herself big. But it is an unwavering finish from Giovanna. Confidence, composure as well. She takes that one really coolly.
It's a great finish. Showed a lot more composure than her coach, Arthur Elias, jumping up and down the sidelines to celebrate that goal. Now Natasha has sat down again in the 6-yard box, which is only going to bring this response from the Suncorp crowd. And she's calling for a change this time. I just wonder, I was looking at Caitlin Ford and getting that yellow card and just thinking this is danger for Brazil, but by the same token, Alana Kennedy was involved in that little to do in the middle of the pitch, having plenty of words and then just getting caught in possession.
It's just those stoppages in play, those little moments where players either which way can switch off for half a second.
Well, let's have a look at all the niggle at the start of this second half. Have a look at the top of your screen there again. It's Caitlin Ford, and there's Caitlin Ford putting Vittoria Cagliao on the ground. Yasmin comes to get involved as well. Well, no such thing as a friendly, that's what they say. Now, Kennedy saw it and was quickly on the scene. And take nothing away from that finish. And there's a fair Brazilian contingent behind the goal at that end as well. Plenty of Brazil shirts and flags waving, which of course is good to see the Brazilian community of Brisbane at the game as well. It was a classy finish and one that has only hurt a little bit more the Matildas. Let's head down to Niamh Owens, who's on the sidelines for us. Niamh, another long stoppage here. There's going to be plenty of stoppage time at the end of this one, I feel.
There certainly is, and you can hear, Robbie, just how the crowd feels about that. For Victoria, though, the Brazilian goalkeeper, she came into the game with that right thigh heavily strapped. We've seen her go down and get treatment a couple of times. The strapping came off, the magic sprays come out a few times, but she looks quite upset out there at the moment, Robbie. I think we will see this substitution made, and it'll be the last we see of her this evening at least. But the crowd are still well and truly involved in this game, Robbie. It has been such a physical, hard-fought contest from the get-go. And I think during the Paris Olympics, we saw at times a Matildas side that looked like their confidence had been a little bit shaken. They looked like they were bullied at times, and that was never something that we're used to seeing with this team, and it is not something we have seen tonight. They have been up for every challenge, involved in every battle, and you can be sure that'll continue.
Thank you, Niamh, down there on the sidelines. Pitch level, which must have been quite the front row seat. You talk about front row seats at a boxing match. We haven't been far off on occasion here this evening at Suncorp. Lorena is preparing to come into the contest for Natasha, the goalkeeper who has, as Niamh said, been struggling for most of the match with that right hamstring injury. I can also see that Adriana is ready to come on as well. She's another of the players that was at the Olympics for that silver medal. She started in the final against the USA, and she is also a champion of the NWSL alongside Marta with the Orlando Pride. They won it, started in the final last weekend, joined up with the rest of the squad in midweek, scored against Australia in 2021 as well, and was also amongst the goals at the Olympic Games. So Amanda Gutierrez, who was really the revelation of that first half, her first ever international goal on 6 minutes, Grace, followed by another 6 minutes later.
Well, 2 goals in just her third appearance for her country. Quite the revelation. And if she hadn't already, has announced herself on the stage of international football.
Adriana comes into the game up front. Lorena's first touch, and immediately the press comes from Hayley Raso. Faye Palermo. Caitlin Ford's done brilliantly. She's just growing in stature as this game goes on. Raso turns inside, and the flag is up for offside against Hayley Raso, who clattered into Faye Palermo. We can also imagine that Claire Polkinghorne is going to come off at some point. We were thinking perhaps around the hour mark. Now that may all have changed with that injury. You can see Sian Fryer is getting ready to come into the contest. Now that would be anything but a like-for-like swap. Oh, the mistake by Lorena. Barrasso, who shoots wide of the mark. It's all happening.
Well, catch your breath if you can. A nervy touch from Lorena. As Natasha is helped to the Brazil bench, and never like to see a player in that kind of distress.
Lais Estevan forward, intercepted by Hunt. Courtney Cross, Hirakuni Cross rather. Back again with Arnold. Yasmin. That's come off Carpenter. They're going to have a couple of changes for the Matildas now. It is going to be the one we've been expecting. Well, we're having a late change. Tommy Samani. Let's just have a word with the fourth official now. On the pitch, Brazil are coming forward again. Faye Palermo, her cross cleared. Caitlin Ford throwing herself at everything. She's been fantastic this evening. And here it comes then. 62 minutes on the clock. And the moment the crowd turned out to see, after 168 caps, 18 and a half years in green and gold, 5 World Cups, 3 Olympic Games, the Asian Championship in 2010. Claire Polkinghorne, congratulations.
Well, when you talk about the heart and soul of this team, when you talk about what it means to be a Matilda and wear the jersey, you talk about Claire Polkinghorne. She has embodied and personified that like no other. Humble, hard-working and fiercely proud. Congratulations, Polks, at some innings.
The entire bench is up on their feet. They all want a hug as Polks makes her way through. We heard it in the pre-game. She's not only been a teammate, for many of them, she was the role model and the inspiration. We've seen the phenomenon that has become the Matildas in the last 5 years, the World Cup, but she was there back in 2006 when this journey towards full professionalism was only just beginning. And they've had to fight along the way for that as well. A fight that continues. Catley intercepts the pass forward. She's inherited the captain's armband of Polkinghorne. So the introduction of Sian Fryer, who's come onto the left side of the attack, as here goes Carpenter. Bundled off the ball by Gio, and a yellow card for the Brazilian.
Gio with a goal in one pocket, a yellow card in the other, but this has slightly shifted the formation for the Matildas as well.
Fryer, the cross, headed away by Vitória Calhau.
The introduction of Sian Fryer on the left, and the exit of Claire Polkinghorne. We've seen what looks to be a shift to 4 at the back, a 4-3-3, so it's Fryer on the left and Caitlin Ford central, Hayley Russo on the right up top. Perhaps gives the Brazilian defence a little bit more to think about, with some more width to this Australian attack.
In it comes from Cooney Cross, back post towards Alana Kennedy. Caitlin Ford, a little mistouch. She drags down Elena Gomez, who has been a real handful as well. Nothing given. The flick on from Kennedy towards Fryer. Can't get it back. Careful here. The Brazilians have a little bit of space to play with. Alina Gomes again. It opens up for the shot. And it was Adriana, the substitute in the end, who fired just wide. Emily van Egmond is coming off. Oh, and Winona Heatley has a problem as well. We're worried about it at the end of the first half. Tamika Yallop caps off what's been a big week for her. A goal for table-topping Brisbane Roar in her 153rd match. The most of any player ever for Brisbane Roar in the women's team. One more than a certain Claire Polkinghorne, as fate would have it.
Well, a record-breaking week for Tamika Yallop. She's having an excellent season with the Brisbane Roar in the A-League Women's. But this concerning signs for Winnie Heatley was that left leg they're having a look at that was a cause for concern just in the shadows of half-time.
A little bit of cramp, perhaps. You can see the holes in the socks just to release a bit of pressure on the calf muscles. We're seeing that more and more in the professional game as well. Any little tiny advantage you can get. She's a battler as well. Winona Heatley, 23 years of age. She's had to bide her time. It's now her second international cap. Forward again. What a battle that's been with Issa Haas, and the free kick given, so the referees just getting the message to keep an eye on those fouls. Here's Sean Fryer. Stands up Faye Palermo, charges into the area, it's a great run. Goes down, and probably just lost control of the ball, I think. Sean Fryer, who burst onto the scene earlier this year on the run into the Olympics, forced her way onto that extended Olympic squad. Lorena, her clearance intercepted. Yallop gets it straight back with Rasso. Heatley still going. Rasso with Cooney Cross in that role at the base of midfield that she likes so much. Fryer. Catley able to turn. It's on her right boot, the cross, and it's just over here, but that was a good opening.
Yeah, a nice build-up there from the Matildas. Sean Fryer looking lively in her introduction. Looking confident too, with the ball at her feet, not afraid to take opposition on 1v1. Just a little shift of weight, drop to the shoulder and driving into space on a couple of occasions.
Now here's Yallop. As you said, Grace, an outstanding form earlier this season. Been excellent with the Matildas as well, growing back to her best over the last 12-18 months. Foul by Gio, who just picked up a yellow card a couple of minutes ago. Wasn't too much interest in the ball in that challenge.
Yeah, I don't think she can argue too much with that one. But this is a dangerous part of the pitch. Usual suspects in Catley, the left foot, Cooney Cross, the right foot. And ideally, you'd like them to plant this right over that mass of players, put indecision into the mind of the goalkeeper, who, fair to say, has looked a little shaky in the first few minutes since she's been on the field.
Plenty of experience for Lorena, but plenty of yellow shirts at the back post. It is Catley. It's into that area. Lorena comes and punches well. Well played, Claire Hunt. The danger now is on the counter-attack. Adriana. Gio in the middle. Elena Gomez at the back post. She goes looking for the number 7. Ooh, Kennedy almost played it straight back into the danger zone. Yallop can't get there. Elena Gomez again for Yasmin. The cross. Kennedy's head up. And it's out for a corner at the other end. Oh, and now we've got another who's gone down. Oh, it's a substitution. The hamstring's gone, I think, for Yasmin. It's not a cramp. Winona Heatley is down. I don't know how much longer she can continue with the cramp as well. There is a substitute ready for the Matildas on the sideline. There's Daniela Galic, who could be about to make and earn her second cap. Matilda number 229 is about to replace Matilda number 230.
Winnie Heatley can be really pleased with her performance this evening. Good to see she's able to walk herself off the field. And the introduction of Daniela Galic as well. A very bright, promising young player. We've seen that with the young Matildas. We've seen that in her move abroad.
Plays a football for FC Twente in the Netherlands. Goal in the Eredivisie. It came in a 1-1 draw with Excelsior, or rather, the goal came in Champions League football. Their one Eredivisie appearance so far, back in October, since the move from Melbourne City. Daniela Galic now. That substitution is being prepared as Brunina. Looks like she's preparing to come on. Plays a football for Gotham in the NWSL. Was actually sent off in their last playoff match. We've got a couple of changes coming. There's Brunina. Number 16. Camilla, and there's also number 19, Vicky Albuquerque, who is preparing to come on.
Well, the last 10 or 15 minutes have been really halted by injuries, substitutions. There's been no real continuity to the game.
The corner is taken short, played in. Now Yasmin, in the meantime, has come off for Brazil, who are currently a player down on the pitch. Can the Matildas take advantage of that quickly? It's one for Sian Fryer to chase. She's onside and in space down this left-hand side. The cross is a good one, or just beyond forward, Rasso. And then cleared by Dudu Sampaio.
The left foot of Fryer has put in a couple of good deliveries. Transitional play, sweeping back down the other end for the Matildas. It's resulted in a corner.
Still, the substitutions haven't been made yet for Brazil. They're still defending a player down. Catley to deliver the corner. In it comes towards Fryer. It was Alana Kennedy that had a big swing at it. Rasso almost got it back into the danger zone. Caitlin Ford tracking back with Carpenter. Now Rasso. Kennedy wants it in the middle. It's a great ball to the back post. Claire Hunt was there. And that was a presentable opportunity, at least, to get the ball back across the face of goal, perhaps.
Yeah, that's a really wonderful cross from Hayley Raso. And you'd want it on the head of someone like Claire Hunt, who is really assured in the air. Perhaps didn't quite get the trajectory right. Not a shot nor a nod back to where the traffic was.
Esteban celebrates her 24th birthday with an early rest as we see Victoria Albuquerque come on. The champion with Corinthians, second top scorer in the Brazilian league with 13 goals for the number 19. The foul on Fryer by Issa Haas. Some things don't change. And Camalinha, the Sao Paulo player, has also come on wearing the number 16. Kyra Cooney-Cross and Steph Catley again. Now, Catley's been taking all the set pieces so far. The Matildas need a goal. 13 minutes left. Mind you, we are going to have plenty of stoppage time. It is Cooney-Cross towards the near post. Headed away. Cooney-Cross again. Little ball looking for Fryer. Adriana now with Gio leading the charge. Aline Gomez in the middle, they're queuing up. Camalina's there. And look who it is doing the defending, as Gio is still in there with the challenge. The ball bouncing around. Finally, the Matildas can get it clear. It was Caitlin Ford charging back to intercept that cross from Gio, who stayed down. She's got cramp now.
Well, the work rate of Caitlin Ford, whether it's in attack, closing down players, running into space, but defensively, had she not tracked that player back, that would have been a fourth goal for Brazil, as they yet again countered. And when they counter, Brazil have looked very dangerous. That quick transition.
47,500, a 15th consecutive sellout crowd for the Matildas on home soil. It dates back to the friendly match against France at Marvel Stadium before the World Cup. And will continue again on the Gold Coast, where there are only a couple of tickets left. If you haven't got yours yet, make sure you do. And then the green and gold heads south to Melbourne against Taiwan on Wednesday, and then in Geelong on Saturday the 7th of December. And then it's just been announced the Matildas have been invited to the She Believes Cup in the United States of America next February, where they will play Japan, USA and Colombia. So more mouth-watering matches for you to get your fill of the Matildas on Channel 10 and Paramount Plus. Well played. Raso, Carpenter into the middle. Desperate defending from Brazil. That was a great challenge from Camalinha, who's just come on in the middle of the park. You can see there are some very tired legs out there. They may look up at the big screen and see 10 minutes left to play. I can tell you it's going to be more like 20.
Yeah, you can imagine there'd be a fair bit of stoppage time. Plenty of injury breaks, stoppages throughout this second half.
Claire Hunt seeing that ball out of play. It'll be a throw for Bruninha. Another of the more experienced in this side, but still just 22 years of age. Only a 14th cap this evening. But was part of the squad at the World Cup in Australia and New Zealand last year. Now Yallop on the charge, early ball looking for Ford. Where is Caitlin Ford? Isa Haas is never far away.
As much as they've been pretty crucial and lethal in attack, Brazil have had some really quality moments in defence as well.
They're just starting to get under the skin. There's a clear foul there by Hayley Raso, but then a little bit of follow-ups maybe. Raso trying to help Elena Gomes to her feet. Galich with Carpenter now into the feet of Yallop. It's a good turn from Tamiki Yallop. Raso again. Yallop turns inside over, that's straight to Gio, and she is a real danger. Cooney Cross with the foul. Nothing given, play continues. Adriana Bruninha, this is nice from Brazil, looking for a fourth. Cooney Cross could still get a booking for that tug back if the referee decides at the next stoppage that it warrants one. Looks like she's going to escape though.
Certainly by her measure, Cooney Cross has been a little quiet tonight. Perhaps without her midfield compatriot and Contrita Gorry. We know that that pairing has worked so well across the last 18 months or so. Of course, Claire Wheeler unavailable for these games as well with a leg injury. Tony Samani mentioned the midfield that's a little depleted in this side.
Ford, good turn. Raso back with Caitlin Ford over the top for Carpenter. Vittoria Calhau is there again. Yallop. Tamiki Yallop. Another who was alongside Polks in 2010 when they lifted the Asian Cup. Sam Kerr was there as a youngster. Well, the crowd seeing the smiles. All's fair in love and war. It's been a real battle. Ford again. Sliding in, challenging for everything. Has won the throw, taken quickly as well. Raso. Matildas streaming into the box. Oh, and this game is really teetering on a knife edge at the moment. Kennedy forward. Vittoria, long. Now, Vicky Albuquerque has laid out Yallop. Elena Gomes. She's got Gio and Vicky in the middle. Slows things down. Faye Palermo's ball in. Oh, that was clever. It was a good ball that was left by Albuquerque. Referee says keep playing if you want to. Both benches up. Carpenter fouled this time. Wants to take it quickly. Does so. Oh, and that was a good ball, and the referee held it up because she wanted to give a yellow card to Vittoria. And that's a second. Vittoria Cagliari, who was booked in the 52nd minute, refusing to let Carpenter take the free kick. And she has been sent off.
It was smart play by Ellie Carpenter. Looked to play quickly. And just a little thoughtless from Vittoria. Slowed things down. When you're nursing a yellow card, you just cannot do that. Gets in the way, arms around the body, impedes the free kick from being taken quickly. And sent her marching orders. Much to the delight of this home crowd.
Well, Katrina Gorry was the last player sent off in this fixture back in 2016. It was a 3-1 win for Brazil that day. Ford outside for Carpenter, down to the byline, but just overhit it. Had an opportunity to cross early. Now, well, after Natasha, now it's Lorena who's gone down, calling for the medical staff. The Brazilians are all heading across to Arthur Elias to get the tactical reshuffle with one player less. The Matildas do likewise to take on Liquids and the Brains Trust with Leah Blaney and Tommy Samani to work out how to perhaps try and exploit this extra player.
One thing's for sure, and this sets up a pretty big game in the second of these two against Brazil come Sunday evening. Irrespective of the result tonight, the return match, there'll be some fire in the belly.
Well, what a dramatic evening for Claire Polkinghorne's send-off match at Suncorp Stadium. Now Lorena, as you may have suspected, is going to be okay to continue for the moment anyway. 88th minute. We're hearing stoppage time will be into double figures and climbing. Kennedy, good header. Good clearance as well from Camalinha. Yallop. Another who loves the scrap. They have to get up quickly. The Matildas. Brazil continue to get under their skin to stop every free kick being taken quickly. Galich back with Hunt. Cooney Cross with Kennedy. Carpenter. Cooney Cross stepping into midfield. Now running with the ball, looking for options. Finds it in Catley, her clubmate. Rasso. Well defended. Very well defended by Adriana.
Great experience there from Adriana. Really good use of the body. Promising little moment there, Cara Cooney Cross, just getting on the ball a little bit more, driving into space, doing what she does best.
Ten seconds left in regulation time. Galich tries to control. Header won by Camalinha in the middle of the park. Cooney Cross back with Claire Hunt. 11 minutes of stoppage time has just begun, so plenty of time for the Matildas, but they need a goal sooner rather than later.
It was a 13-minute window that Brazil got their 2 goals in the opening half. 11 minutes to play here at Suncorp Stadium.
Cooney Cross wins it. Sian Fryer's switched out to the right-hand side. Galich, who's also come on, is in midfield, just ahead of Yallop and Cooney Cross. Here is Yallop. Oh, it's squeezed under a foot. She's done well to block that and win it back. That's a great ball for Galich. Able to turn and face, but can't find Rasso. Galich gets another chance. Now Rasso's in space. Plenty of it, the ball doesn't come. Again, it was well defended by Vicky Albuquerque, a makeshift right back between her and Adriana. Two forwards. They're both back doing the defensive duties.
Tug of the shirt, undeniably. Brings Kyra Cooney across the ground.
And she was booked as well, Giovanna, so that could have been another red card. Wouldn't have taken very much. Galich. Rasso can't lift herself off the turf and get back in the game. She's holding that left leg. It's 10 apiece at the moment out there. It's going to be a case of last left standing. Yallop. Doesn't look good for Rasso, you know, that to keep her out of the game, it has to be something serious. Ford continuing to fight for everything.
Looks as though she's struggling with a bit of cramp, Hayley Rasso, but you're right, Robbie, she's not one to go down easily. Absolute warrior she is.
Catley with Ford. Caitlin Ford done brilliantly again for Catley. The cross, oh, so close. Carpenter's still there, lays it back. Kennedy hits it wide of the mark. What an opportunity for Sian Fryer.
The quality of the cross from Steph Catley. Low, driven hard across the face of the goal. Excellent ball. Just needed a touch, needed contact, anything. That is teasingly close.
Well, just lacked perhaps that little bit of desperation to throw herself at it. It was coming at speed. Hayley Rasso is back on her feet, wants to get back into the contest. Fourth official telling her to wait a moment. It's a long ball towards Ford. Cooney Cross, a little nudge in the back, too much on Bruninha. It was Adriana, in fact.
It feels like it's been a night played in desperation for Brazil. Every challenge, every contest. Defensively, they've thrown their body into challenges.
Faye Palermo has moved back onto this right central position now, which means Bruninha's headed to left back after the sending off of Vittoria Cagliao. Yallop with Carpenter. Fryer. Bruninha with the challenge. 5th minute of stoppage time. If it's going to happen for the Matildas, it has to happen in the next couple of minutes, you'd think. Carpenter. Fryer. Oh, it's behind Yallop. It's just those little mistakes. Beautifully done by Elena Gomez through the legs of Kennedy. Fryer tracking back. She feels she's won the throw. Referee concurs. are some really tired, worn-out players out there. Match has been played in very muggy, humid conditions. Fantastic intensity. Dudu Sampaio, she's been excellent in the middle of the park for Brazil, the number 10. Yallop. Catley calling for it. She looks long.
She's done very little wrong tonight. Dudu Sampaio, that pass gonna miss. But wearing the famous number 10 of Brazil.
Too many players have had the chance to wear that shirt with Marta over 200 matches, just retiring. Here's Gio on the charge again, 3-on-3. Gio going it alone and misses to the right. Well, she has been excellent since coming on as well. Maybe could even have been sent off a couple of minutes ago. Now we've got Faye Palermo down.
Little drop of the shoulder, shift of the weight. Doesn't miss by a great deal, but Giovanna, she's looked really lively since her slightly earlier introduction to the field than what she thought she may have, and perhaps, as you mentioned, a little lucky to still be out there, just towing the line, already with a yellow card, and could have arguably had another.
Well, the year started for the Matildas with their Olympic qualifiers against Uzbekistan, followed by friendly wins over Mexico and China, a draw with China, then the disappointment of the Olympic Games with so much expectation. In the end, the 3-0 defeat to Germany, proving the really decisive moment, because if you look at Brazil, who went all the way to the final, they also lost their two of their 3 group stage games and went through ahead of the Matildas on goal difference. And then once you're in the knockout stages, as they proved, everything and anything can happen.
Well, they came incredibly close in that gold medal match. A narrow defeat to the USA. Couldn't quite send Marta off on her swan song.
Now, Faye Palermo doesn't want to put that left ankle down on the ground at the moment. There is some concern. There is time, I suspect, if they want to make that next substitution. Catley. Rasso back with Steph Catley again. Cara Cooney cross. Claire Hunt with Kennedy. Carpenter. Two minutes left. Is there any more time? Brazil defending with just 9 on the pitch at the moment. The cross in, too close again to Lorena. That final ball just hasn't been there for the Matildas this evening.
But it felt like a tired cross from Ellie Carpenter, who has worked tirelessly all night. Covered a lot of ground, as she so often does.
Just the one shot on target in the entire match for the Matildas, and that was Caitlin Ford's goal. There have been 6 on target for Brazil. They have looked the more likely scorers. It's fair to say they have scored 3 as well, so they have gotten their reward as well for 13 shots, 6 on target. Carpenter, that's a good ball over Galic. Cooney Cross with a little bit of cramp as well as Cantley dinks the ball back in. It's there for the moment. Sean Fryer blocked. Brilliant save by Lorena. Sean Fryer so close to a first international goal. Caitlin Ford with cramp now. Cooney Cross has a bit of cramp in midfield.
Well, it was a good save from the goalkeeper. Positioned well and got a strong set of palms to carry it away.
Catley delivers. Fryer looking for the flick on, couldn't get the touch. The 11 minutes are up. Ellie Carpenter does brilliantly. Now with Cooney Cross. How much more time is the referee going to add on? Rasso. Well, despite the result, the good news for the Matildas is they get to do it all again in 3 days' time against the same opposition. They say revenge is a dish best served cold. I suspect it's still going to be quite warm. As again, Sean Fryer is denied. The Gold Coast on Sunday. We get to do this all over again on 10 Bold and Paramount Plus. Rasso, the umpteenth cross in for the Matildas. And again, the 9 of Brazil, repel. Gio leads the charge again. Alina Gomes still full of running, but so is Ellie Carpenter. Is there time left for one more attack for the Matildas? Galich. Yalip ahead of her. Galich inside with Kennedy. Needs to find an option, just got caught in two minds. Oh, and Alina Gomes looks up. Kenzie Arnold had already retreated. Everyone's staying forward for the Matildas. Everyone's staying back except Alina Gomes for Brazil. The switch of play is a good one. Kennedy in the box. Still Ilana Kennedy. Issa Haas defending brilliantly as she has done all evening. Right on the very limit of the dark arts. And it has paid off. Because Brazil, for the first time since 2016, at the 7th time of asking, have recorded a 3-1 victory over the Matildas. An epic match of football that was meant to be about Claire Polkinghorne and her farewell from the Australian game, from the World Game. But football, it so rarely plays out the way you think it will. And probably it's exactly what Claire Polkinghorne would have expected. A tough match. A quarter neither asked nor given between these two sides. The tone set in the opening seconds. A passionate, breathless, pulsating match of football that saw Amanda Gutierrez strike twice early for Brazil. Caitlin Ford to give the Matildas hope just before half-time, before Giovanna netted goal number 3. There was still time for a red card for Vittoria Cagliao and another injury to Faye Palermo. It was an epic match of football between these two great rivals, and it has finished in favour of the South American champions. Brazil have defeated the Matildas at Suncorp Stadium by 3-1. And now attentions will turn first of all I suspect, to recovery, because there is going to be a need for recovery for both these two sides as the substitutes start to go through their loading. It was really a case of all hands on deck for Brazil. There's hardly a player who wasn't involved. Let's head down to Neve Owens, who was one of the stars for the Matildas.
Hayley Raso, that was some battle out there tonight. How did you find it?
Yeah, it was definitely a battle. A tough game there, a really good opposition. It was quite transitional at the end there, and I think a few people were going down with cramps, so it was definitely a tough game out there.
It's still 24 degrees, feels like 28. How tough were the conditions?
Yeah, really hot. I mean, a lot of us have come from Europe, where it's a lot colder than here, so it's hot. Like I said, a few people were cramping, so a little bit different conditions for us to play in, and I think that made it a little bit tough for us tonight.
We know that clashes with Brazil always involve plenty of niggle, plenty of physicality, and that was all there tonight. How tough is it when there's so many stoppages to get that flow going forward?
Yeah, it is really tough, and obviously the game was stopping a lot. They were going down plenty of times, so for us trying to find flow and trying to find rhythm was difficult, and we struggled with it tonight, but we know we've got a chance to bounce back in the next game, and we'll be up for that one.
Looking forward to Sunday.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Hayley Raso, what a competitor out there tonight. Gave it everything. The Matildas just not enough against Brazil. 3-1 the final score. We are off to a short break here as tonight we farewelled a legend of this Matildas side, Claire Polkinghorne. We're going to hear from her on the other side. Don't go anywhere. Yeah, what a night it was for Brazil in the end here at Suncorp Stadium. What we were anticipating was the fire and the spark that is always delivered when Australia and Brazil meet. World Cups, Olympics, knockouts, it is never straightforward, and tonight it was a 3-1 result here against the Matildas, Amy Chapman, Andy Harper. That was, I think, the longest encounter I've experienced between both of these sides. Incredibly lengthy stoppages, players have gone down injured, and in the end Brazil, with their might, they started well and truly on the front foot, but they did get it done here this evening.
Yeah, it's incredibly hot, and I think Brazil were milking those moments. I think the goalkeeper went down a record number of times, and the fans here were not appreciating it, but what a brilliant high-intensity end-to-end match. Goals galore, creative play. It was incredibly entertaining, and we're very privileged to know that there's another one coming up on Sunday as well. Two world-class teams, some world-class players, and some world-class moments out there tonight, Harps.
Brilliant night. The Battle of Britain between Australia and Brazil. It was superb. I'm not quite sure if there'll be enough players to play at the Gold Coast in a few days' time, because that was just, the output was incredible. There's some really wonderful technical moments, some pretty dodgy defending, but great fight. Great comeback. Brazil held on beautifully. I thought Brazil set a great tone for the game, actually. And then Australia matched it. And in the end, we just weren't good enough with the space we had. And we had plenty of space tonight. When you look at a lot of international football and we play against compact defences, and a lot of the talk post-game is the difficulty to break it down and how much we enjoy an open transition type game with space to attack. Brazil obliged that. Their fullbacks played high. The two centre-halves had a lot of work to do. We had a lot of space to attack, and we just weren't good enough to use it, actually, in the end. But that's not to take away from what was just a fantastic night of watching football.
Yeah, I think we saw the Matildas playing in two different formations. Of course, Brazil went down to 10 players there for a moment. Caitlin Ford, she is in world-class form at the moment. A couple of brilliant moments in those dying minutes where really the Matildas could have pinched one there, but certainly in terms of entertainment factor, it was all there tonight.
Gio on the score sheet here, just an absolute menace when the ball was at her feet. You can see the quality that Brazil absolutely did have out there on the park tonight. A little bit to think about, isn't there, Andy Harper? But you get a chance to go again. It's a rivalry that exists so deeply ingrained between these two sides, and we just saw yet another chapter written tonight, and another chapter closes for a legend of this Matilda side, Claire Polkinghorne. Gosh, this team loves you, your state loves you, this country loves you, we all love you. I know we're wearing a T-shirt, you probably feel grossly uncomfortable about your face absolutely everywhere. We know how humble you are as a champion of this side. How did it feel, and how does it feel here standing now, running out on Suncorp for one last time?
Yeah, obviously a really special night for me personally. Unfortunately, we couldn't get the job done tonight as a team, and but as you say, we got another opportunity to go again in a few days' time, and hopefully we can reverse the result.
And Polky, obviously you do your best at throwing it back to the game here tonight, but this is a big moment for you, and obviously we've got 11 Polkses on our shirts, which I can imagine you're cringing at, but this is a moment to celebrate everything you've done for the game. Almost 20 years with the Matildas. I've known you since you were 14 as you came in as a hurdler, and then you came on to absolute domination for the Matildas. I can't imagine a change room without you. How do you feel that the team can fill those shoes that perhaps you've left behind?
Yeah, I don't think they'll have any troubles. The team's in very capable hands, and a lot of talented players and a lot of leaders in the team. And yeah, I'm just really excited to now be a fan of the Matildas and to sit back and watch them take on the world.
To the game itself, incredible denouement for yourself to watch this turnout from a youngster from Brisbane who's just loves sport and loves football, and this is what you get. So congratulations. But to the game itself, did it surprise you that Brazil started as strongly as they did and were prepared to roll their sleeves up, get the boxing gloves on and really stick it to you? Did that catch the team at all by surprise?
I don't think it caught us by surprise, but they definitely had the better start. They're always a physical team, and they play street smart football, which you saw again tonight. And yeah, as I said, the first 15-20 minutes we got outclassed in every area, and we fought our way back into it with a goal late in the first half, but yeah, we couldn't push on, and we'll I guess go look at some video and see where we can improve, but looking forward to the next one.
Polky, as you look back on your career, and I'm sure it's a little too soon to start reflecting, but Are there a couple of key moments that stand out for you? I will bring up that you did get a red card. We got a red card within about 4 minutes of each other, if you recall. But are there a few moments? You went to, unbelievable amount of major tournaments, but what stands out for you?
A few things. Obviously, making your debut is always special. The first time you put on the jersey and play for this team is something really special and something I'll never forget. But yeah, major tournaments, I guess, is a highlight. You want to be playing at the top level and to test yourself against the best teams in the world. Probably can't go past the home World Cup, just the whole experience. And I guess that sums up the growth of women's football over my time in this jersey. And so that's something really, really special for me to look back on.
Claire, as you prepare to make your exit, what's your observation as to where things are at for women's football, but the Matildas in particular?
Yeah, obviously we're in a little bit of a transition with a new coach in waiting, and I think from there it's just about building a foundation and build on what we've already got, all the strengths that we've got in the group. There's so many world-class players, and we just need to try and get the best out of every player.
And what was it like having your family here tonight, and Liam and Tom and Brita, your mum as well? And people flew back from the UK just to make it here for this final game at Suncorp, and of course your late dad Tony as well, who'd be so proud, Polks.
Yeah, he would be, and my family have been the biggest support for me, and I wouldn't be here without them. So for them to be able to be here tonight and share it with them and celebrate their, I guess, commitment and dedication to this team and to my career is something really special.
I love the way we're wrapping up, Polks, but you're always wrapping up everyone else around you, be it the fans, the team and your family, but not actually you. You are so humble in everything that you have achieved. So this is the beginning of your farewell tour. So do we get a chance to see you on the Gold Coast, in Melbourne, perhaps Geelong again? There was a little bit of a question mark around, was this it, or do we get another chance?
Yeah, I think it's been a little bit confusing. There's some different stories going around, but yeah, I'll play all 4 games, so this is just my celebration game. So I thought 4 would be pretty good to go out on.
New nickname, Johnny Farnham.
Yeah. We've got to get the
You're doing the RSLs as well?
And obviously it's pretty special for you here, of course, in Brisbane, Polks. You've been a big part of Brisbane Roar, a big part of the Matildas' history here. You are the most capped player, and I will bring up that you've scored 16 goals, and some big ones at that. Is that another proud moment for you as a central defender, scoring so many goals?
Yeah, I mean, I love scoring goals, obviously, but it would have been nice to get one tonight and help the team out. But yeah, lots of great memories, especially here in Brisbane. Looking forward to sitting back and just taking it all in and thinking back on the career that was.
Well, Polks, thank you so much. It was one last time here at Suncorp Stadium in your hometown, and it was one very special time. Thank you so much for everything you've done for this game. We're all sad. We're going to have a box of tissues ready across the next 2 weeks. Thanks so much, Polks.
No worries. Thanks.
Big congratulations. And to one of Polks' partners in crime that's going to miss her at the back. It's over to Alana Kennedy. Neve Owens is with her.
Alana, that was such a physical battle out there. How did you find it?
Yeah, it was definitely tough. It's always tough against Brazil, very physical team. And I think we have a strong rivalry. But yeah, I mean, obviously, as you could see, it was lots of players going down with some questionable cramps for some. But yeah, it was a tough game.
You had your old mate, Claire Polkinghorne, there beside you in the centre of defence. It's such a special relationship, and it's one that you guys have had for so many years. How special was it to have it back out there beside you tonight?
Oh, amazing. I cherish I just got goosebumps as you said that. I cherish every moment that I get to share the pitch with Polks. We all talk about it, the way that she embodies everything that it is to be a Matilda. And there's just no other player like her, no other person like her. So to be able to share the pitch with her for maybe one last time was an absolute honour, and we're definitely going to miss her.
I could see how emotional you were out in the lineup when we saw the tribute to Polks at the start. I can't actually imagine a team sheet for the Tillies without her name on it.
Yeah, as I said, she's a special player within this team and has been for a long time. Just her presence, I think, alone is just incredible. I think it's with Polks, she leads through her actions, and so she's definitely going to be missed.
Thanks, Lance.
Thank you. Cheers.
You could see Alana there. She was getting emotional as the interview was wrapping up as well. She's going to miss Polks standing alongside her. Those two have been the partners in crime in the centre of defence of this Matildas side for over a decade. And my question is that passing on of the baton and what it's going to look like who's taking that spot? I mean, we've seen it progressively, haven't we, over the World Cup as well, but who takes that spot and who's coming through at the back in the defence of this side, Chappie?
I think it's hard to articulate the impact that Polks has had on the dressing room for this Matildas, for this entire generation. Not only on the field, but she just has that steady calmness amongst all chaos. In the biggest of moments, you look at Polks and she's just calm, she's chill, and she steps up. So I think for all of us, for Alana Kennedy and all these new generations of unbelievable youngsters coming through, Polks is the epitome of what it takes to be a professional, both on and off the field. So you can see she will be a massive loss. As much as she plays it down, her presence will be a massive loss, particularly in those big moments, big tournaments. She's been immense. So but with it, a glimmer tonight was there's a lot of talent coming through. I love Winnie Heatley. I thought she was excellent tonight. She could also play central defence. Claire Hunt has obviously been someone who's very well established now, as well as Alana Kennedy. So I think there is a succession plan, still building, but it's looking promising.
Well, you never replace people like Claire Polkinghorne, and nor should you try. But what the organisation needs to do, certainly in the near period, is to keep her, subject to her availability, around the dressing room, particularly with whatever youngsters come in to start making their way. I mean, the fact of the matter is Claire Hunt has usurped Polks' position as a starting centre-half, so that transition has already taken place. But it's the bigger whole of leadership that Claire Polkinghorne, and you've all articulated it so well, how steady as she goes. For someone who doesn't like the spotlight, she actually, the bigger the occasion, the better she gets. And all the pomp and ceremony around her this evening, I think, distills into two moments. Firstly, pre-game, when she just couldn't get the game started quickly enough. Yeah. And then at the end, when she came off at 60 minutes, and all the team ran to make something of it, and without disrespecting that gesture, she couldn't wait to get the sub on and say, come on, get and win this bloody game with it.
She's a fierce competitor.
Totally.
Fierce competitor.
We can't afford to lose that. So individuals will fill different playing roles, but what Claire Polkinghorne represents can't be replaced, and you need to keep her around as long as you can until you've made some sort of substitution.
Yeah, absolutely right, and very well said, Annie Harbour. Let's get some more reaction now with Neve Owens.
Caitlin, you covered some serious miles tonight. I'm going to ask you about this to begin with. Anything we should be worried about, or cramp?
No, just cramp. Tough conditions, obviously. Most of us playing in Europe. I think my last game was in about 1 degrees. To come here and almost playing 30. It's tough, but I'm glad it was towards the end, so I got through most of it. But yeah, just about recovery now and prepare for next game.
Tough conditions and also plenty of band out there tonight. How good was the chat?
Yeah, obviously we know they're physical and it was going to be a bit of a battle, and yeah, they brought that tonight, and we've just got to be up for it again next game.
It felt like you got forward, you created opportunities, but just getting that last shot on target was the bit that was missing.
Yeah, it was just the final piece. I do think we played well in spells, but it definitely has to be better, and obviously we don't want to concede 3 goals as well, so yeah, we have to tighten up and just be better on the ball, and as you said, the last piece is to finish the goals off.
That was an epic battle tonight. We cannot wait for Sunday.
Yeah, thank you.
Caitlin Paul was an absolute monster out there on the park tonight. She is for Arsenal and did it yet again wearing the green and gold. We are after a short break here live from Suncorp Stadium. We hear from the Matildas coach Tom Samani on the other side, and don't forget, more football is heading your way. The weekly kickoff, we're going to take a look at all the Matildas games that are heading your way live from Melbourne. You won't want to miss it.
The weekly kickoff every Wednesday. All your Socceroos, Matildas and A-League action.
Torres! Oh, what a goal that is! That's a bullet into the top corner.
Plus all the best bits from the beautiful game from all around the globe. That's the weekly kickoff every Wednesday on 10 Bold and Paramount Plus.